Good afternoon, everybody. This is your host, Ricard Gina Well. I welcome you all to The Real Word, episode 21. I'm here with my brother.
Your boy Pastor Santa Cameau in the house.
And we're here with two special guests, two very special guests. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rose Michelle.
What's going on? It's Colin from Hebron.
What's up, what's up, what's up? I'm blessed and honored whenever I see my people come out and they support me and Brother Sanders. This is a movement. And special announcement, I'm going to let you announce it, Sanders. Special announcement.
Which one is so many good news to announce? Which one do you want me to start with first?
Go ahead. I'll let you
Okay, well, first and foremost, I want to thank Ricard and Jordan River for participating and contributing to the MetroCard Drive. We got $400 that was received.
Amen.
And
Shout
we
out,
got 25 MetroCards. We already gave 3 out for random strangers who inboxed me through Facebook. So anybody who needs MetroCards, holla at myself or holla at Ricard. We're giving out this Wednesday from 12 to 1 because it's all about community service, it's all about spreading love. Also, too, good news, too, we received from my man Pharrell, not Pharrell the singer, but Pharrell from Poughkeepsie, Mid-Hudson, NGA. We received over 25 turkeys.
Shout out.
25 turkeys.
My brother out here showing love.
25 turkeys. So anybody who can match that, we want somebody to match that. We're trying to get at least 50 to 100 turkeys. We're going to give it out to families and struggling communities. We're going to be doing a lot of big things. So with your contribution, your participation, we need your support. And like Ricard says, give to the GoFundMe, give to the PayPal, support black businesses, support black entrepreneurs, and support Christians who are doing something positive.
And the link will be in the description. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're going to give out the turkeys the days leading up to Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving itself, we're going to go to the local homeless shelters and we're going to do a buffet-style food pantry and give out the food, cooked food, to the homeless people so they can have a good meal. Because I see some of the meals that the homeless people be having, that dry, old pizza and the old ham sandwiches.
Canned foods that you would eat yourself, I agree.
We're not dealing with that. You know, us Haitians, we know how to cook, so we're not playing no games. No games at all. And what else, Sanders? What else we got popping off?
Also, too, December, we're going to be giving out free toys to the kids and also free coats as well, too. So we're very excited as well. I spoke to Ricard's sister. We got some big plans coming up. I'm excited. It's about to go down. The Real Word is doing it up. Jordan the River is doing it up. The Winter Circle Church is doing it up. Yo, guys, participate with the movement. Let's make it happen. Talk is cheap. You feel me? Let's move and not sleep.
Last but not least, this month we're going to be on TV. Woo! On 3 different channels. On Verizon, Comcast, Optimum, and Spectrum. I'm going to put the information in the link because I don't know it offhand, but that's all because of you guys. You know, this all started as a dream. We started in what, June? 4 or 5 months ago?
3 major providers, cable providers.
Man. Something light.
You know what I'm saying? He's just being modest. But the thing is that, to piggyback what he's basically saying, is I feel that, you know, one person can't do everything.
Right.
When we all come together, we can all make a difference.
Right.
And this show right here is to promote awesome brothers like yourself.
Shout out to Mike. I see you watching.
Yes.
Happy birthday, boy. Yo, pull up to the church, bro. We miss you.
Is that easy?
Yes, and also want to give a shout out to Ernst. We want to promote positive brothers like yourself, positive sisters like yourself, for us to promote each other. Because let me tell you something. What I was telling you prior before the this live started, the Jews, they have 7 types of people working for them. They have the baker, the banker. They have the optometrist. They have the doctor. They have the lawyer. They have the dry cleaner person, and they have lastly the person that sells shoes. And they invest in each other, and we need to be doing the same things as well too. So we need people who will own dry cleaners. We need people who are going to own bakeries. We need these type of people, and we need to put our dollars and our money together to make things happen. So this is a show that does that.
The scary thing about that is that, I mean, everything you said is correct, but at the same time, those who are receiving that money is ultimately spending that money outside of the community. So ultimately, we kind of like, mess up the cycle of where that money is supposed to be spent. Yes. From my understanding, I heard that, the black dollar, gets circulated like how many times? Not that many times compared to like other nationalities. And I feel that us as African Americans need to find a better way to stick together and learn how to support each other. And at the same time, you know, we have to learn how to be on time and learn how to, you know, also run our business, know how to run our business and whatnot. I've heard of so many people getting like shortchanged when they try to support their brothers and sisters who are trying to do their thing, whether it's like from bakery to photography to, you know, anything that they provide some type of service. You know, they ultimately try to mess up that business by not being honest.
I think sometimes people don't even necessarily give people the opportunity to get to the point where they mess up. I think sometimes people go with whatever is the most popular. So if, you know, for a time being, it was such a big thing on the news that, you know, with the whole Black Friday thing, I think like 2 years ago, so everybody started buying black, but then it stopped being cool. It stopped being what was hype at the moment. So everyone forgot all about that whole movement of not participating in Black Friday and buying black and things like that. So I think we need to just start not looking at when it's, we can create our own hype. We don't have to wait for someone else to hype up, you know, buying black to buy black. Even if no one else is doing it, as long as one person, individual is doing it, then it's something's being done, as opposed to all of us just waiting for a group of us to come together and agree on the same thing.
I mean, I think as a church too, they should have some type of board where they are able to post, you know, individuals within the community that ultimately have their business, whether it's real estate, like my brother-in-law, Vlad, support my boy Vlad.
Yeah, support Vlad.
You know, he's doing this thing in real estate, so we definitely have to, you know, try to figure out ways to put them on a platform in front of the church to help out their own community.
Exactly.
You know, Squiggy, I think us coming together like this is a start.
Right.
I mean, for example, I believe that there's a lot of people like Ricard, like yourself, who can lay aside their pride, lay aside their ego, and come for a great cause and a great purpose. And I feel that we can do it. We can do it. We are doing it. We started with the diaper drive that went very successful. We have a lot of
over 2,000 diapers was given away.
Yes.
Over 3,000 wipes. Shout out to everybody that donated, but we're going to keep going. A lot of people didn't want to donate because they thought we was going to put this money in our back pocket and probably buy some clothes or sneakers, but nah, you seen it. We took pictures and video as proof.
But listen to this though. The thing is that the goal is to make money by investing in property. I know y'all guys want to invest in property, investing in different things, laundromats, bakeries. The money's out there. You feel what I'm saying? And when God blesses us with the money that we have, there's nothing wrong with spending $2-3 million on the community.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So it's going to take us, what we're doing right now, to come together, and we're doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I think you said one key thing, that's laying your pride aside. I think a lot of us, the reason we don't get far because we refuse to lay our pride aside. I think that when it comes to real estate, especially, if we or some professionals came together to say, you know what, you're going to invest $5,000, you invest $5,000, and we're just going to invest in a particular building or a unit, then we can go ahead and make money that way, you know. But ultimately, we don't trust each other at the end of the day.
Yeah, everyone just, you know, everyone wants each other to be successful, but no one to be more successful than the other. And I remember like watching something, and it was saying basically how, it was like one of those motivational things, and it was basically saying how when people go into business, they want to be good at everything, as opposed to strengthening what you're really good at and getting people who are better at the things that you're not good at around you to help strengthen the business as a whole. Everyone wants the limelight to just try to be good at everything, but you actually hurt yourself in the long run if you're trying to do everything, as opposed to focusing on what you're really good at and getting the people around you who are better at the things that you're not to help you out.
I'm going to put you guys on some free games, so everybody get your pen and pads and get ready for this. I'll give you 1 minute.
A lot of people watching that, give a couple shots with you, baby.
All right, so this is what it is. When I was 23 years old, I bought my first car. When I bought my first car, a lot of people didn't think I was going to be able to buy that car, because when I told them what car I was going to get, they was like, oh, please. And that's what a lot of things I did in life. Usually when I tell people I'm going to do it, they don't believe me. That's why I don't even tell people what I'm going to do anymore. I just do it and I show them. So when I first bought the car, I needed a co-signer, and I wasn't really up on credit. I wasn't really up on insurance. I wasn't really up on APRs and things of that nature. So I can say that they jerked me to a sense because I had a high APR and my father co-signed. But, you know, after a few years, like I say, I caught up on it. I refinanced the car, and then I got a lower APR once I got my credit up, and then I continued with that car. As I got older and I started to stop hanging out around certain people, I started to see things for what they are. So when I got older again, I was like, all right, what's hot right now? I was like, okay, Uber's hot right now. You can still do your 9 to 5 and work Uber when you want to. So I still keep my 9 to 5, which I got a degree, so I could get a professional job and I could negotiate the terms of my salary. That's one of the benefits of getting an education, kid. You could negotiate the terms of your salary.
Wow.
So keep a pen and paper because I'm not done. So after that, I bought my second car. When I went to buy my second car, I did the research, I got the Carfax, I checked my credit score. I already knew how much income I had because I had the income from the Uber that I started off with the rental. I got the TLC license. I was able to take the TLC classes, pass the TLC exam, was licensed by the city. Then I rent the car to get experience as a driver, and then eventually I traded in my other car for a newer car. Once I did that, I applied to put TLC plates on my car. After I applied to put TLC plates on my car, I got the car inspected, and now I got my own LLC under my name. Same thing I did with the show. I got a tax ID for the show, and now this show is under LLC as well, because I'm building a business, guys. Keep this in mind. So now I have my first black car license under TLC. I didn't do it just to get one Uber car. I did it to start a luxury brand of black cars. You understand? So I started with one car. With that one car, I could finish paying off that car in 1 year. Once I finish paying off that car in 1 year, I'll buy another car. Say, for example, I'll start off with an Infiniti. I'll buy a Lexus next. Then I'll buy a BMW. Then I'll buy a Mercedes. Then I have a whole fleet of luxury cars. On top of that, with the cars are going to generate interest where I could rent out the cars to different people, generate income for myself, and use that income to buy houses. Then I have income from the houses, which gives me more additional residual income after that. I could put them all under LLC and feed this ministry. Think about it. We on TV now. This is a show that started off with Facebook Live. We're using a cell phone. And yeah, we got thousands of views to the point where we made it to television on a cable network.
Wow.
Think about that, guys.
I'm going to give a couple of shout-outs. Daniel Bryce, salute to you, my guy. Mike from Hebron. Shout out to Mike, man. Mike always showing us love, man. That's a king right there. Want to shout out to, Naomi Burbrand. Salute to you. Christine Gillian, away from Florida. It's real out in these streets. Natalie Novinsky, salute to you. My man from Oakwood, Pastor Jason Bolgen, I see you and everything like that. I wanted to ask.
But wait, I'm not done. I have additional stories.
Yeah, keep going.
So this is what I did. Instead of using liquid cash, because the thing with liquid cash is once you use it, it's gone, unless you make additional cash. What I did was I paid for all this on credit. We know that credit is money that you don't initially have, but they give it to you based on the money that they see that you're making, the money that you're able to make, and how you managed credit before. So based on the history of how you managed prior credit, they give you additional credit based on how you utilize credit in the past tense. So then, as time progressed, I got additional lines of credit. Majority of the things I did it on credit. The best thing to do, guys, is to get, if your credit is good enough, you could get 1 year interest free, which means you have a whole entire year to pay off a certain amount of money, so you pay it in increments. You do the math and you divide it in 12 months increments if you can, and then you pay it off. But what I did is, I paid for everything on 2 separate cards. So once I ran up that balance, and it's pushing close to the 1 year, my credit increased. So then I was able to get a 2-year no interest credit card. So then I got a balance transfer. So I transferred the credit from the previous cards onto one card, and now I got 2 years to pay off that one amount.
Wow. So you feel like that's good debt?
It's good debt because the bank doesn't make money off of my debt because there's no interest for 2 years. And within 2 years, I could finish paying it off. And I got everything that I needed done. And I bought everything that I needed to buy. I'm going to make that money 10 times over. No interest.
With that being said, I want to give shout out to Sunny. I wanted to ask my sister a quick question. Tell the people what you do and everything like that.
Well, outside of my 9 to 5, I recently started a YouTube channel. It's called Surviving Adulthood. And yeah. And what basically the idea behind it was to create a space where people who are going through their early 20s can come to and see someone who is also going through their early 20s, dealing with things that you encounter that you may not have learned about in school, or your parents may not know too much about. So like finance, like as he was talking about credit card debt and understanding that. I recently got my first car, so I made a video about that. So I do, yeah, thank you. So I do all different types of things. I started in December. I have a few videos up. I have a few subscribers. I want for it to continue and to just, grow and things like that.
What made you want to start that?
I wanted to start YouTube channels because I love watching YouTube videos, but specifically in that, with that specific goal behind, because I felt like there are a lot of things that I would learn that people would feel, that I felt like people, it was just common knowledge, like I was just supposed to know, but no one ever taught it to me. So it's like, wait, how am I just supposed to know these things? And, especially if you're growing up in the U.S. and your parents are Haitian, there's certain things that you deal with that they may not know how to address you, certain things. Or like even college, when I was I'm a college counselor now, and I go to different high school fairs, and I see kids with their parents, and the parents is there to support them. And we don't all have that. We don't all have someone who tells us how to do college applications and who tells us, like, don't be intimidated to go, away for school and experience all these different things. So basically all the things that I feel like I didn't have, for someone to teach me, as I learn it, I want to have a platform where I can teach someone else.
That's real.
That's one of the things in our community where we suffer from a lot is financial education and financial literacy. It's like a lot of people don't teach their children how to do things. Like, I thank God for my father, he taught me how to balance a checkbook. I remember when I was younger, he used to always be like, I'm going to show you how to write a check. And every bill that came, he would make me make out that check to the creditors that he had to pay the bills back.
Wow, that's real.
And I used to hate it as a kid. I used to be like, I don't want to do this. But he showed me the importance of paying your bills on time, how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, make sure you have the money in the checking account before you write the check.
That's right.
He showed me mortgage payments. He showed me APR. He showed me credit. He also showed me how to manage properties, because he would always tell me when he's gone, we're going to be the ones who take over this. And it's like my other siblings, they weren't as interested in it as I was, I guess, because I guess my mind and his mind was kind of the same in regards to like the business aspect of things. But he always showed me like those things, and he always told me the same thing. When I'm gone, this is going to be for you, so you got to learn how to do this and you got to learn how to do that. Even in regards to like, he started to build a house in Haiti, and like he would make me and my brother invest money into the house. And I'm like, why should I give you money to build a house in a place where I'm probably never gonna go? And he's like, this country's not for you. Like this, the same thing that all Haitians said, this country's not for you. Like I used to have a place to go back home. And as I got older, even people that's born in America, they have property in other countries. Like the other day, I gave this guy a ride. He had a house in Puerto Rico, and he was complaining about how his house had over $500,000 damages, and he was like, he had $100,000 doors. Like think about it, imagine to live that type of lifestyle. But this is what I always tell the people: if you could see it, if you could dream it, then you could believe it and put it into action. Yes. Formulate a plot, create it, and put it into action. People are gonna doubt you. I remember when we started the show, bro. We started in the basement. You remember? In the basement, and it was people who were supposed to be on the show, like, yo, I can't even do this, or I'm not going to do this. I don't feel like this show is going to go nowhere. And look, we made it to TV, bro.
They didn't hurt me. They didn't hurt me. But going back to my sister, I wanted to ask, before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Mike. Mike said he wants to do his own YouTube video. Bro, do it now, my brother. Yeah. Do it now. We support what you're doing. We will come to the show, me and Ricard and all of us. We support you 100%. Because like I said, we have no issues with competing towards anybody.
We'll rent your studio time.
Yes, exactly. Got to spend money. But my sister, in regards to your YouTube channel, please tell us about your YouTube channel, more specifically about the different videos that you do and everything like that.
So originally I didn't want to have, not to shade anybody who has like a YouTube channel, but I didn't want to have a typical YouTube channel where it's a lot of like makeup and things like that, only because there's so many other people who do it already, and I wanted to do something that was meaningful. So the types of videos I have, I do have some beauty videos, but it's a lot more like finance, getting my first car, Some of the things that I plan on doing is doing a video series on the college process. Like I spoke about before, not everyone is lucky enough to have a parent who is really committed into making sure that you get into the right college and giving you that confidence to apply to schools that you may feel like you're not going to get into. So I definitely want to do a series on that and all the things that I've learned as a college counselor and also as someone who's applying to college, and make videos about that for someone else. And in regards to Michael, who was saying that he wanted to start his own YouTube channel, although, you know, like at first there's this this thought that you're gonna have a whole bunch of support and all that stuff. You know, like they spoke about when they first started, they didn't get maybe as much support as they wanted to, but that doesn't.
We didn't get support at all.
Yeah, that doesn't. It really does. Like he's saying, it doesn't hurt you. And then also, even if what I found surprising is like even if the people that are closest to me that I expected to support aren't supporting, there's people out there who I've never met before who will watch my channel, my videos, and comment and things like that, make you want to continue, because it doesn't matter the people around you. When you first start, when you're not popping, when you're not like big, the people around you are not going to support you. Right. It's the people who don't know you. When you get big, then the people around you will then want to tell people how they knew you. But when you first started, they're not going to support you.
Mm-hmm. Ironically, that happened the same thing when I started preaching. When I started preaching, like today, I was in the car with my homeboy, and then he was showing, and then we was looking through the different videos of my sermons and how it's progressed, and he was like, yo, it don't even look like the same church. I said, it don't, but it's the same place. We just changed the floors and painted the benches. And I was like, when I first started preaching, people from my school, from my block, from my jobs, and people that I knew used to come out. Other people from other churches would not come out. They'd be like, we don't know this guy. Because for some reason, people want to be associated with you when your name is higher, you know, and what you want to know. Coincidentally, I was associated with a certain federation afterwards.
Wow.
Wait, I just wanted to say, in regards to what you were talking about, there's a book I'm reading. It's called The Four Agreements, and one of them is about that, which is basically that what people have to say about you and how they perceive you has nothing to do with you, that it has to do with themselves. Exactly. So if you're not getting the support that you want to, it's not something that, it doesn't mean that your content or whatever idea that you have is bad. It's on them. They're choosing not to support. So that shouldn't stop you.
Yeah, that should stop you at all, because the thing is that, for me personally, I've never seen a hater give me $5 in my pocket. So at the end of the day, you got to move forward. Like I said, the people who remember, I say this all the time, always remember, those who love you will support you.
Absolutely.
And those who support you will show you. And that's pretty much just what it is.
You remember when people was making fun of this show, and it's like, oh, yeah, I see you guys with your TV show, and they was laughing? Ironically, we have a TV show now.
God is good. God is good. God is good.
I mean, everything takes time.
Everything takes time, of course.
Takes time. When you start your business, you know, everything takes time.
Let's go to the comments, because it looks like the phone's blowing up.
Basically, my man Sonny says, some parents I hear give their children a credit card from a young age, so when they get older, their credit score is great. How you feel about that comment?
Great?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, you have to start.
It says some parents I hear give their children a credit card from a young age, so when they get older, their credit score is great.
Give their children a credit card, or create a credit card in their name and use it.
Well, Sonny, you got to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
I think
that's what he meant.
Yeah, you think so?
Most of the time, when you get your first credit card, your balance max is probably $300, $500.
Right.
I can understand what he's saying, because if you get a kid the $300 balance or $500 balance, even if they maxed out, you pay it back anyways. Most kids who are fortunate to even get a credit card, you have to think this way: their parents would have to have good credit in the first place. Most people of our color, parents don't have good credit.
I think
Not necessarily true. I think most Caribbean parents, or at least mine, he was very big on financial literacy and big on understanding that, you know, if you have a credit card, it's supposed to be used as an emergency type of means. It's not supposed to be used as a daily, you know, constantly, you know, using it, and then you lose track because, you know, if you see the game now is trying to get you away from the paper, physical money, to the card. So now, when you're using this card, you lose track of the money that you're spending. You lose track of all of that. So now it's like the credit card companies are winning, because now people, by the time they look at their account and they balance, they're like, oh, well, you know what? Let me pay the minimum. I'm gonna pay it one day. I'm gonna pay it one day, and not knowing that they're paying so much interest money in interest that it's going to take them 2 years to pay off a balance of like $100 or something. You know?
That's why I was talking about to get your credit up and you get the 1 year no interest. Ironically, I met a guy who worked at the Federal Reserve, and he was a data analyst at the Federal Reserve. And I'm like, so what do you do over there? He said, I just count numbers. I said, yeah, but you don't feel like this whole thing is ironic? He said, how? I said, basically, that money's not real money, it's just a bunch of numbers. He said, that's something funny to say. I said, yeah, it is funny to say. You're a data analyst. If it wasn't a bunch of numbers, you wouldn't be able to read it. Then he said, yeah. I said, perfect example. Look at the scammers. What do the scammers do? They'll write a fake check for $5,000. They put it in your bank account. You don't really have the money. The money's not really there. You'll cash the check. You'll take the cash out, and then you'll have the actual cash in your hand. Because your account, because they're going to notice that that deductible was taken out of a place that it wasn't in the first place. Your account goes negative, but all it is numbers that's positive and negative, but you have the actual cash in your hand. So where was the money in the first place? The money wasn't really there, but the numbers was added, which created the money.
Wow.
Therefore, you could move money and add money all the time. That's how you can manipulate the money in your accounts through an app, by just doing transfers back and forth through your phone. And just moving numbers back and forth.
My man Sonny just added, he said, create a credit card for them, and they teach them how to use it.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense, because in order you have some. I mean, there's multiple ways to build your credit, but one of it is to have a credit card and show, like credit card companies, that you are responsible enough to use it and then pay it back in the specified time that you have.
Good question, right? So if the audience would ask, what are 3 ways to build your credit? I want to hear perspective.
Okay, one thing is sometimes what helps your credit score is credit cards, but another things have liquid assets, and another things have actual cash in the bank. Say for example, you have $20,000.
What are ways to build your credit?
To build your credit? Okay, this is how I built my credit when I was young, right? My first credit card was $300. Now I'm at, I don't want to say the number, but I'm at a much higher number. But when I started off with the $300, I would pay my phone bill. Say for example, I would pay my phone bill. I gotta pay T-Mobile the $80 every month anyways. So what I would do is I'll pay it on the credit card, and then when I get paid, I pay the $80 back to T-Mobile. I would buy food, like regular stuff, small purchases. I'll pay back the food. And then when I'll get a big amount, like if I'll get like an income tax at the end of the year, I just pay the whole thing off at one time. Or like say for example, I cash out, because who knows, like when I was young, I was quote unquote lucky. Like I would get large sums of money every now and then. So every time I would have a debt, I'll just pay the debt off at one time. So it went from 300 to 500 to 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and it kept going. And also with credit is if you pay your bills on time, it builds up too, because that plays a big part, paying your bills on time. Like if you got a car, make sure it don't get repossessed. God bless, I had a car since 23. I'm 29 now, and I never got cars repossessed, knock on wood, whatever wood may be. But like, you pay your bills on time, you make sure you make your payments. If you have money in the bank. Like create a paper trail. It's like when you go and you buy a car, you buy a house, you're like, okay, show me pay stubs, show me your bank statements, show me what other assets you have, what kind of income you have. How are you with paying bills? What other bills do you have already, and do you pay those bills on time? So that's credit. And some people say we don't look at your credit score, we look at you. Okay, when they look at you, they saying that, okay, show me a bank statement. How much money is coming into your bank account? How much money is coming out of the bank account? How much money are you making weekly or bi-weekly?
Go ahead. I noticed one thing. My sister-in-law, she said an excellent thing. Keisha, thanks for watching. Tell the girls I love them. Morgan, K, I love y'all. But she said something interesting. She said most Korean parents, they like to join susus.
Yeah. What is susu? What got to susu?
Pretty much a susu is pretty much putting money in the pot, and then every month someone get paid out. Okay. So susu, I never joined one. I don't know if you guys ever joined one.
I've never.
The one thing about susu is if one person robbed that susu, you asked out. A better thing to do is get the Stash app or the Acorn app, where it rounds out the number of purchases that you do, and it puts the money to the side where you don't see it. So maybe in like
it's like a source of saving.
Yeah, in a couple hours you got a couple hundred.
My thing is that so Sonny said that Credit Stacker is a game app that teaches you everything about credit. He also says pay more than minimum amount. Don't spend more than 30% of your credit card. So good point.
Wait, I would also be aware of your interest rate, because I didn't. For a while, I thought you could put whatever amount that you have towards your balance, but the next time around, say if you owe $200 and you put $60, and you're thinking, okay, when I come back, I'm gonna have $140 left to pay. No, if you have an interest rate, you have to also keep that in mind. Yeah. So if you have multiple credit cards, then what you do is you either put most of your balance to the credit card that has no introductory rate, where there's no interest rate that you have to pay, or put most of your balance to the credit card that has the lowest interest. That way you're not paying as much money.
But the thing about that is you gotta look carefully, because it will say 0 interest rate, but if you're late, there's a penalty. Yeah. You get penalized. So you got to be careful of that as well. You got to pay yourself on time, right? So then they'll charge interest on that you're late on.
Your homegirl Keisha says, she said people believe keeping a low. Oh, your sister, I'm so sorry.
My sister.
I'm so sorry. People believe keeping a low balance on multiple credit cards, and that it will build up your credit, but that's not true. Pay them on time and pay them off.
Another thing is the history of credit, as in like don't just pay off your credit card balance and then turn it off. Credit also determines how long you had that line of credit. Like,
yeah. When are you really supposed to use your credit card? Like, really, when are you supposed to?
My mom never believed in credit cards.
Like I told y'all, the perfect example to do an investment, so you don't have to use liquid cash, and you spend that, and then you pay off the credit card, and then you make sure you double that you spent already. Right. A perfect example of using credit is when you purchase a house. It's a large investment. You don't want to pay that all at once, because because you're going to live in that house, hopefully for a long time. You're going to try and make money off that house. So you might as well use the loan from the bank, which is a line of credit, and then you use it. Or when you start a business, you'll get a line of credit for a business, and then hopefully that business doubles that amount that you took out on the loan. Right. I'm going to give y'all another jewel that I learned from investors. They said that a lot of investors, they know people that work in the bank, as in they have an inside man that cuts it. That's with everything, even with scamming. If you got a little girlfriend who works at the teller, she's going to let your checks go through. So the same thing with the people up top. Here's what they do, right?
That's real. That's what we got to be. That's what we got to be together. We're that common. Listen, you guys better get it. You feel me? I already left all the haters already. Go ahead, continue. All right. Already, go ahead, baby.
That's what they do, right?
Teach.
Most, I'm not stereotyping, but some people, they grow up and their friends become accountants, bankers, merchants, those type of things. So they keep those relationships. Because they have someone in the bank, they go and say, okay, I need a bank loan for a certain construction. I'm trying to invest in the real estate. Here's what they do. So they'll go to their friend and say, I need a line of credit for $8 million. So they get a line for $8 million. They'll spend, let's say they spend $5 or $6 million on the initial investment to build the house, and they keep the $2 million for themselves cash. So they'll hire cheap labor, like we all know. They hire Mexicans, they cut corners, they do this and that. But on paper, it shows that they spent the whole $8 million. But really, they got $2 million in their pocket, and that's $2 million that you could do for whatever. So you could take that $2 million, you break it down, you get more loans, buy more property. You flip that again. You take that $2 million, you buy a $1 million property, you flip another $1 million. You hold on to that for another year, and that $1 million property makes $4 million now. So out of the initial $8 million, you got what? $14 million now.
Yeah, but I mean, you're making it seem like it's easy that people can have access to that.
It's not, but it's all about networking and connections.
Absolutely. But I don't think you still can network at this point in time. And, well, unless you have some really high-level friends that's able to move to give you $8 million off the cuff.
Fake it till you make it. It's like in those movies. It's like in those movies. All you gotta do is be at the right place at the right time. You meet the right person, you know. As long as you're not giving up your booty, you gotta make some certain moves.
That's facts. And the things that people are giving up their booty, boys and girls in Hollywood. Yeah. But somebody said your sister says use credit cards to book travel, as you can use the credit card insurance in case you have to cancel. She said, I believe Amex is one of the best credit cards.
Sure.
Yeah, I got it.
Even though that CEO just stepped down, I believe he just stepped down too long ago.
Next one, Cynthia. She says, I'm glad about what you guys are doing, helping people with bad credit. A lot of people have messed up their credit. Next one, Aknel, my man who's been hiding for a long time. Yes. What's good, Gary from Delaware? I see you, baby. Salute to you, King. Making 2 separate payments towards your balance before or on the due date help you boost your credit as well.
Perfect example. If you get paid bi-weekly, every time you get paid, you put some money down. Yes.
My man Ernst says, if you get a joint credit card with your parents when you're young, their credit basically becomes your credit as you get older. Is that true?
Yeah. Shout out to Ernst, because you put me on some game too. You told me how your mom's had good credit. She helped you with that car, so shout out to your moms.
There's credit card companies that allow you, speaking of ways you can build your credit, they allow you to get secured cards where it's the balance that you have is technically your money, but they use it as if it's a credit card to help you build your credit. Or if you have bad credit and you're trying to rebuild it, it helps you that way too.
There's a program too. It's called Dave Ramsey. I'm not sure if you guys heard about him. He has this thing called Financial Peace. I found out about it at, can I say a church name? It's cool.
That's cool.
He brought us home, so I can
Facts, say the facts.
But I think it was Christian Fellowship. That's the one that's connected me.
Shout out.
Yeah, Christian Fellowship, definitely. They had a program there called Financial Peace. It was done by Dave Ramsey. And it was a series that taught you about like real estate. It taught you about your credit cards and the dangers of having credit cards. It taught you about how to save. It taught you also about if you want to purchase a vehicle, what is the current amount that you want to spend on a vehicle? Because a vehicle is actually a depreciating asset. So with time, it actually loses value. So do you want to spend $80,000 on a Mercedes-Benz in 3 years, it's going to be worth $20,000.
Exactly.
You know. So ultimately, you got to also work out your APR, your interest rate. The interest rate is one of the things that kill a lot of us because, well, I can't say for myself, but for a lot of people that we may know.
Shout out to Queens Auto Mall. They gave me a 2.8 interest rate on my newest vehicle.
Oh, that's what's up. They cool, but interesting with their cars. So their cars is interesting over there.
Why is it interesting for me to ask?
Get to know that, right? They have a lot of. They have a lot of repo cars. They have a lot of repo.
When I was looking for my car, I actually went there. And they were charging above book value. So it was interesting. But the whole experience of buying a vehicle, I think a lot of young kids, they are so happy to get of age to buy a vehicle that they go in with their heads and their eyes closed.
That happened to one of my boys. He bought an Altima, and his interest rate is like 23.8. So he's paying more than me in car note.
That means he had bad interest.
Yeah.
I mean, bad credit. Like
yeah.
His credit was extremely poor.
For an old Altima, I think a 2010.
Right. But when you think about that, you're really paying like. It depends on the payment because now the interest rate is so high. You're probably paying like $400 a month.
His is like 5 something.
For a 2010, Altima?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like people get caught like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying.
What if people get caught? Just wanted to ask.
No, they get caught because they want a car so bad.
Okay.
And they don't read the numbers. They don't read the numbers.
And at the same time, you gotta do your research.
Exactly.
I know, right? When I was looking for my car, my wife hates it, but I do so much research before I make a purchase. Because I need to figure out how are you trying to get me on this particular purchase. I know that when we purchased our Honda, our car together, they charge us a little bit, like a little below 5.
Thank God for the hood, man. When you heard of the hood?
And come to find out that there was a class action suit for all the individuals who owned the Hondas, that they were doing some unfair business practices where they would give African Americans a little bit more, slightly higher interest rate.
You see?
When you go through the Honda finances. Wow. And we recently got a check back for that. Wow. You know, it's not $1 million, but we got a little something back. Right. At the same time, there's like a lot of people are getting got out there.
Was it a Bank of America loan?
No, it was a Honda Financial.
Yeah, because Bank of America was doing the same thing. Bank of America, shout out to my boy. I got him refinanced. He had Bank of America before. Yeah. Shout out to Bethpage and shout out to Financial Credit Union. They give good.
Huh? No. Give me a shout out. This is your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I'm funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I mean, this back in the vehicle things. Wow. You know, you want to be very careful because I know the second time when I bought my second car, I was very careful. I was able and educated to know what to fight for, what to say, what to do, and how to speak to those individuals because a lot of times, you know, depending on how you negotiate, you could come out a winner on top.
Of course.
They'll say a lot of crazy things like, oh, we're not making any money. Come on, you got to meet me halfway. You got to do this, you got to do that. But you got to understand this is business at the end of the day. You're not going to sell me a car if you're not going to make no money. You're not going to stay in business for long. So ultimately, there's a lot of things out there where, you know, they may say, oh, I got to go speak to my manager. But they're laughing at you in the back like, yeah, he thinks he's getting a deal, but we really screwing him. You know what I'm saying? So
just like with me, it took three different
Thank
times
God
for
for
them to give
the
me.
amen.
It
What a swell.
It took 3 different times for them to give me that low APR. And even after that, after I bought the car, I called the bank straight and got an even lower APR.
Yo, so that's the thing. So a lot of people feel like you have to go through the bank that they're offering you. You got to go to your personal bank. I went through my credit union, and I was able to get a low APR for my second vehicle. Thank God I was able, because for me, I don't like that. That's for me, personally. So when my first vehicle, it took me 2 years to pay it off. And that's how I'm going to be for my second vehicle. I'm going to pay it off in 2 years too. So it's all about budgeting. It's all about, you know, really understanding that, you know, the less that you have, the more freedom you have to purchase things. That's what I think. But I think the right way that you're doing is that you're using the vehicles to your advantage to help you get money for you.
So it becomes an asset and not a liability.
Yeah.
People gotta learn the difference between liabilities and assets. If it's making you money, it's an asset. If it's losing you money, then it's a liability.
We're going to be rich, baby.
And that's with everything in life.
All of us.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I leased my first car. So why did you guys decide to buy your car versus leasing or financing? And what's the difference?
Leasing basically is like renting, almost like you put a certain amount down. I'm not sure if you get it back when you. Okay, so you don't get it back.
No, you basically pay over time for the value of the car for the amount of time that you have the car.
Yeah, but I know certain lease you have to put money down.
You see commercials say like $3,000,
Yeah, you still do.
Which you don't have to put money down. I found that out later on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't have to put money down.
Yeah, and that same money that you put down on a lease, you could put down on a down payment. Like when I bought my new car, I didn't have to put no money down. I just traded in my old car for my new car, which means I didn't put no money down at signing. The reason why...
Well, the trade in your car was a
Yeah.
down payment.
Yeah, it was a down payment.
The value of your car that you traded in was
Yeah, it sufficed for that. But my dad always told me don't lease because he said it's better to own than to rent. Because that's the mind state that he put onto me. But my sister, she leased her first car and I bought my first car. The difference is when you lease it, I know sometimes you get perks in regards to maintenance, as in like they'll maintain the car, they'll do certain things.
Yeah, free car washing.
Yeah, those type of
change your
things.
tires, things like that.
But when you buy it,
they'll change your tires after you buy the tires, right?
I
Because I think on certain things like normal wear and tear, they don't replace that, to my understanding.
No, well,
Like maintenance, like oil change, stuff like that.
when I leased my car, they said I went to speak to someone else, and there were 3 other things that I still had to pay for. So part of my monthly payment is for like changing my tires, because after a certain time, I'm leasing for 3 years, but the free tire exchange is only for the first year. So I'm paying for the next 2 years for if anything happens to my tires, they'll change it. Or once I return the car back, if there's any damages, they're covered up to like $5,000. So there's certain things that people will say, oh, I leased my car so I get these perks, but you still pay for it.
I think it would be cheaper if you did not pay for the whole tire thing, because you don't need tires that often. Maybe you change tires twice a year, the most, but then you can buy used tires too and save money on that.
I'm the type of person, I feel like it's better to have it and not use it than to not have it and need it and then have to spend extra. So
My mate Gary Formby said people get caught up because of lack of financial literacy, and our parents aren't even financial literate. It's a vicious cycle.
that can stop. That can be stopped.
That can't be stopped.
Yeah, there's so many different resources like financial literacy classes. There's a lot of different companies that give them for free. You can take them after work, and they're just things that will later on help you out and knowing, because you'll just be, more knowledgeable.
I'm going to say this. Financial Peace, Dave Ramsey. You can subscribe for his courses, but if you want to be cheap, whatever the case may be, you could go on YouTube. He'll tell you everything, and we have so much information at our disposal that we'd rather watch Love and Hip Hop or all these other shows.
Facts.
Instead of distractions, a lot of distractions and stuff like that. So we get caught up, and it's mainly due to our fault. It's our fault.
America right now is one of the big distractions. Look at the president.
Right.
Facts.
But I think aside from not researching the information, once you do have the information, it's hard to be consistent in doing it. I know that's like one of my issues, and it's because what you have to realize is like it takes time for things to become a habit. It takes time for you to be disciplined. So it's something that is like you're gonna have the information, you're gonna try it out, and you might fall off for a bit. But as long as you keep coming back and trying to make it a part of your lifestyle, then you'll be fine, and then you can stop the vicious cycle of not being financial literate.
Just to go back to your leasing option, for me, the reason I didn't lease is because I like to travel a lot. And from my understanding, I know my mother-in-law, she likes to lease her vehicles, one of her vehicles, whatever. But, the restrictions are, you got to pay for the certain mileage that you use.
Yeah.
You can't, anything that you, say for example, you want to put rims on your car or whatever, you can put tints, you have to give the car back the way you purchased it, A lot of things, I think, for dents and stuff like that, if you don't buy the protection, they'll look for any little thing to ring you up and stuff like that. So for me, I just thought that, my first car was a regular Honda, the second car was a luxury car, and, you learn how to make friends with mechanics, you learn how to
shout out to the Haitian mechanics.
Keyword. Keyword. Make friends with mechanics.
Absolutely. Build relationships with them.
Why say that for? Why do you think that's important to do?
That's important because, a lot,
Save money.
a lot of mechanics out there, not throwing any shade, they do good work, excellent work, but at the same time,
Some try to rob you.
Some try to rob you, you know what I'm saying? Because not every day they're getting like a lot of customers, so they got to make up for that money.
Especially once you pull up with a foreigner.
Yeah, if you put up with foreign, you better expect to come out some change. But not only that, but the parts are so expensive by itself anyway.
Shout out to eBay and shout out to the online exporters.
Yo, listen, we giving y'all nuggets.
Rock Auto.
We giving y'all nuggets.
Rock Auto.
What I do is I buy.
And we spreading love.
And we're not getting a check for that either. So
Exactly.
I want to let you know.
So donate to this ministry, right? It's important.
What I do is I buy
Yes.
parts from other states. I buy parts from Ohio,
Smart.
Texas,
Wise.
Kansas, because it's cheaper there. There's less income and there's less taxes.
I'm on your time.
And you send it FedEx, UPS.
You got to be careful too because I was watching a YouTube about, because I always ask myself, what happened to the cars that have been flooded, like in Houston and stuff like that? All those cars that sit on the lot that's now underwater. What happened to those cars?
Salvage.
Supposed to be salvage, but I've seen some.
What is salvage? What's that?
Salvage is just the title that they give the car.
Okay.
If it's been damaged severely, or if it's been a bad accident, if it's been in some type of
Salvage is no longer good. It could be sold for parts if the parts are in working condition.
Okay.
Pretty much. But I believe that, well, not believe, but I saw some video of certain car lots selling used cars that has been in the flood. And they're able to finagle their way to keep the title clean in order to sell it.
But it would depend on how much engine damage it has. Because if the engine is still good, then the car is still good.
Right, but I mean, at the same time, the car has a lot of electrical system in it. So the electrical systems and water don't mix at all. So the engine might be good, but at the same time, your seat not moving, the window's not coming down, whatever reason. A lot of things are not working, it's quirky, whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I would be wary. It's a little bit, I would want to buy my parts from a reputable, site.
No, I do buy it from. It's an authorized dealer site, and you match the serial number with the serial number in your car.
Okay.
And it's a money back guarantee.
Right.
You buy it from PayPal, so that's 2 times the one.
But at the same time, one thing I found is that if you're able to buy the parts yourself and you give it to the mechanic, you just pay for labor. It's way cheaper. As opposed to have it done, purchase a part for your vehicle, and they may purchase the cheapest part but charge you for the most expensive price.
Of course, because that's how they eat.
They gotta eat. Everybody gotta eat, and that's what everybody don't realize. And then sometimes, unfortunately for our sisters, they're often taken advantage of.
They are taking advantage. So you got to get married.
Whoa!
Not you. Just in general. Not because they all have a man with you. Because if you have a man with you, it's not easy.
You can have brothers, you can have
Brothers,
fathers,
exactly.
you can have
Brothers in Christ,
uncles.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
you don't need to get married just for the purpose.
That's just for the purpose, but the protection. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that's like saying you're getting married just so she could cook for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's got to be a little bit more than that.
I know people that got married for health insurance.
I mean, people get married for a real reason.
Right? For visas.
I mean, I don't
not
know.
that.
I don't know. I don't know.
No catfish over here. No catfish over here.
He said no catfish over here.
So I want you to go back to what she was saying. So basically, can you tell us like one video that you did? Because I want to be fair. One video that you did and about with just YouTube. Could you tell the people that?
I guess one video that you felt you got a lot of hits. A lot of people.
And that was inspirational to you and to them.
It could be educational. It could be.
I don't know. The video on my channel that has the most views about hair, so that's not really inspirational.
Listen, can I just jump on that real quick?
Go ahead.
Oh
snap.
man.
Here we go.
Talk about that.
No, right here real quick.
There's been a lot of movies about hair.
I'm not even going to get on the weave thing. I'm just talking about the industry, the business aspect.
Yeah.
Some pastors come to church and like, you can't wear weave. You can't wear wig.
I'm not going to go that route because it is what it is at this point. I mean, I've heard things about like, with the weave, there's a spirit in them, and then goes on to the female. I hear a lot of things.
Some pastors did say that, like, and that's what, Sanders? Legalism, right?
Legalism.
But I heard it was last time I checked, it was like about a $5 billion industry here, and the Asians have a monopoly on it.
Facts.
So you have
Shout out to the Koreans.
The Koreans. And it's hard for black businesses to get into that industry to make some headway into it because of the fact that the Koreans are they're not the only ones that are have the stores, but they're the distributors as well. So now you have to go to them to be like, can I have the products that my people use?
Exactly.
And oftentimes they would try to use generic brands to put up front and use like the black-owned companies and put them in the back. So unless you know them by name, you're going to pick up the cheapest hot curling iron, whatever, the hot comb, whatever you call those things.
Nobody uses a hot comb.
I don't know why you use a hot comb. My bad. I'm showing my age. I'm sure my age.
Go natural. I like the natural thing. The natural thing.
Yeah, I remember.
But that's my thing. I think everybody likes the natural thing, but it's a lot of maintenance. Am I correct? Or
I
it's a lot of laziness.
think that people should have the option to wear their hair whatever way that they feel like wearing it.
I think
if you like natural, then wear your hair natural.
Yeah.
If you don't like natural hair, then don't wear your hair natural. I don't understand why so many people are so passionate about the way other people wear their hair.
Well, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak about that.
Yeah, I don't.
A lot of women are.
I don't get it. There's a lot of stuff.
At the same time, there's a sense of modesty that you also want to have when you wear your hair as well. As a Christian, I think, personally for me, I mean, you don't want to sit out here and be coming to church with some hot pink hair on singing on praise team in front of the church. It's more of a distraction than anything. You don't think so? Personally for me, I'm not condemning those who wear the green hair.
Question: so pink hair would distract you. If someone has a lot of hair and they have a huge afro and they're wearing their hair natural, that wouldn't distract you?
Yeah, it would distract. It would distract anybody.
So then,
but I'm just saying, like, in all fairness, shouldn't there be a sense of modesty in certain areas?
It's not my area, man.
I think.
I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying. Not the way I see it is it's not modesty, but just appropriateness of just like. Well, I guess it's just kind of the same thing. Just being appropriate in whatever situation that you're in. So if you know that you're going on stage and someone asks you to wear something a little longer or that's not as form-fitting, then
listen. I don't want to beat up the girls. I think it goes both ways. There's guys that come there with ultra skinny pants and stuff like that, and just come to church and stuff like that. That could also be distracting. Tool for females as well.
I think it's so funny,
I think it's a different era that we live in now.
Well, I'm not gonna say SDAs because all I know is SDAs, so I don't know if other churches do it too. But the fact that people just are so like pressed on that. There was a guy who on like what you wear to church. There was the pastor who preached at my church last Saturday. He spent so long just talking about clothing, and I'm just like, I can't remember any Bible verses that he actually read.
Who's this?
I can't remember the actual Bible verses he read, but I do remember him just going on and on and on. And the funny thing, the irony of everything is that the same people, sometimes the same men who are in church who are like, women shouldn't wear this, when you see them trying to talk to a woman, she looks exactly like the woman that they were talking about on stage. So
some people use the pulpit to send shots and to attack people.
To then go out after church and try to speak.
Thank God I pastor my church. I don't deal with no foolishness. Amen.
One thing, like, I remember when I was younger, it was a little bit more strict in church. I remember they would not allow men with like braids or with dreads into the church. They would talk a lot about that, and they had so much to talk about.
Do you feel like it's a cultural thing? Like talking about the Haitian churches?
It's a cultural thing. But it's not just Haitians, it's Jamaicans, it's a West Indian thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Per se. But then in a sense, those people are a lot closed-minded.
That's true, yeah.
Like a lot of them are closed-minded people. And all that did was push the young people out of the church. I feel like now that the church is like more progressive, people are coming back to church, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just think it's about appropriateness. Like, churches also don't have to go the complete opposite and start doing things that everyone knows is wrong just to attract more people.
Exactly.
Because then it's like,
That's
it's
right.
not church anymore. It's just trying to accommodate for everything.
Exactly.
And it kind of goes back to what you were talking about before with the whole pedophilia thing.
Oh, let's talk about that.
It's basically like we're all trying to be so accommodating, but there's a right and there's a wrong in every situation.
Yes.
There's not like everyone can't be right. And everyone can, like, there's a right and wrong. So you know, church, like, there has to just be a balance. You can't try to be so open and allow anything in the church so that you can have everybody come in. But then also you have to not be so, like, human and look at people's appearance, physical appearance, and just go off of that and say that this person must be this way because they're just like that, because that's not the case. Someone can be as modest as they want and be doing all types of crazy things. Like,
it's about character.
Yeah.
It's about the hearts, how you treat people.
My mom said something one time. She was saying,
you got it next, baby.
She was saying,
You got it next.
She was saying how when she saw certain young men in the street, she used to be scared of them when she was walking, until one day she looked at her sons and realized that those guys in the streets look just like her son. Sometimes it takes that for you to realize what it is, because sometimes we judge people and we say this and that. We like, especially within our culture, we like to gossip and talk bad
Too much.
one another. But at the same time, we busy out here pointing out other people's flaws because we're trying to hide our own. And I think that's a big problem when it comes to religious people, because religious people always, it's like the Bible says, let he who's without sin cast the first stone.
Yes.
And I think we need to apply that principle.
And I want to even add too, before Caleb goes in, I feel like if we're going to look down on people, we got to look down on people to pick them up. You feel what I'm saying? Reach them at their level, you know what I'm saying? Encourage them and build them into becoming the man of God that God has called them to be, because real children of God don't look down on people.
Right.
Real children of God don't smear or talk down or discourage or annihilate people's character. When you're looking down, you're picking them back up and restoring them into the place that God has called them to be. Go ahead, Caleb.
No, I heard a joke from Dave Chappelle a while ago.
Come on now.
And he was talking about how he was trying to talk to a female, and I guess the way he approached her, the female said, you know, just because I dress this way doesn't mean I'm a hooker or something like that. And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. He said, it's like me wearing a police uniform, and then you're coming to me looking for help, and I'm like, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean I'm a police officer. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, you know, I think what you wear does say a lot.
It does say a lot.
So you got to be mindful of that, and it goes both ways. I'm not trying to bash the females.
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? My thing is that dress, be yourself, but you know what I'm saying? But make sure if you have, you know, certain body parts that show, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that you're blessed with, you know what I'm saying, that you make sure to cover. Like, this is one of my sisters. Actually, shout out to my homegirl, man. She got married to my boy. I'm not going to say her name, but at Oakwood, she had, you know,
have mercy.
She was blessed in that area. She had a nice back. And the thing is that, one thing I loved about her was, you know, the way she dressed, she always made sure to cover. You know what I'm saying? To dress modestly. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because why? Because she knows that with her feature that God blessed her with.
Yes, which is nothing wrong.
Right.
My God.
It can become a distraction.
That's right. Just being honest. It can be a distraction.
It can be a distraction.
It can be a distraction.
You have to know your body.
I'm laughing at the my God.
And my God. And listen, brothers are straight here. There's no Ben Gates here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You just have to be mindful of that.
And you know what's so amazing? The thing is that, she carried herself very lovely. You know what I'm saying? Dressed well, dressed properly, but she was blessed in that area. You know what I'm saying? She got married to my boy. They have a son. And I always come in, I said, one thing I love about you is you know you're blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me? But you would always cover up. You would always dress modesty. You could dress modest. And you're bad. And you're hot.
Shout out to her husband because he's blessed now.
Yeah, he is blessed. Highly favored. Personal ministries and land activities. Higher. Amen. Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you just got to know
Exactly.
yourself. I know one of my friends, his sister, she would come to church, but he would make her turn around so that her ass wouldn't be. I'm sorry.
How about her ass?
Her backside.
That's in the Bible.
Her backside wouldn't be on the people's face as she's going through. You turn around. You be a little bit modest because you got to know your body at the end.
Exactly. So I want to just go basically with this pedophile thing, and I think this is something that we definitely need to talk about. But while I'm looking, I don't know if anybody want to say something about that.
Shout out to Patrick Swayze because it's in the news now that he tried to molest that other actor who was 14 years old.
So you're shouting him out?
No, I'm shouting him out because I'm putting him on blast. He's don't give the day.
Okay.
But basically, so when the guy outed him out, he basically, instead of coming out as a pedophile, he came out as a gay man. He said, I like the women and...
Oh, you mean Kevin Spacey?
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Let's listen.
All right. He brought 14.
That's the dude that got accused by the 14-year-old boy?
Yeah. Well, he's not 14 right now.
I mean, at that time.
Yeah. He basically brought a 14-year-old boy to a grown man's party, to a grown people party.
Yes, House of Cards.
Kevin Spacey.
And he says it's going to be the last season.
Let me tell you, ever since that woman came out with how Hollywood and the music industry, and the thing is, it's no lie, we all know that people in Hollywood indulge in gay orgies.
Even Terry Crews, big black self. Like we all know that he had some sugar in that thing.
Exactly. We all know.
Hey,
listen, man,
Terry Crews was...
Speak on what
No, but he's...
what you know.
Was molested.
Yeah, but why would you say
big
that?
The big dude was molested.
No, he was like, I guess, groped or something, but why would you say he had sugar in it? It wasn't his fault.
He always looked like a big brolic homo thug, and he always plays the big brolic homo thug.
Facts.
No.
Yes.
Because of that,
Yeah, Terry Crews is my man. I can't tell you that.
He's not.
He's trying to rate that pimp.
He's
trying to rate that pimp.
That's true.
He wasn't a...
Oh, okay.
No, he
Yes.
was at a party with his wife and the guy, the guy who's on the news right now who's being... he's being accused of all these things. Terry Crews came out and he said that even he was at a party and he touched him inappropriately. Wow. And he did it in front of everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, and he said he never came forward, I guess because, of how...
But I mean, as a man though, you're going to let somebody... It doesn't matter,
Listen,
even if you get the check.
Listen.
Yeah.
If he's comfortable to do that to you in public in front of everybody, that means he did it to you before in private.
No, he said that's the only time that happened.
Allegedly with that.
No, it's not that. Somebody, I was listening to the Breakfast Club and somebody said a quote and it was saying like, how privileged must you be that you feel comfortable enough to do it in front of everybody? It doesn't necessarily have to be that that's the second time it happened. It could just he feels like, yo, I'm who I am. I can do whatever I want. I'll do this right now. You're not going to do anything.
No,
and he
I think most of all, he had the power to hire certain people. I think he was right. So in a sense, it's like your boss. It's like your boss, coming to you. It's like, I'm the boss. So if you want your job, you better hush up about this.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt like he had that role, that power, and he used it to his advantage.
And a lot of times in situations like that, what I've heard is like the person at first feels so like not ashamed, but like so shocked that it happened. Right. They're not sure that maybe they're overreacting or it's not what they think. So they're just like contemplating and themselves like, okay, wait, am I making too big of like did this really happen type of thing?
Right.
So before they even say anything.
But like I said, in regards to Hollywood, there's a lot of things that's been going on. For example, I want to salute my man Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle refused to wear a dress. He did not wear a dress at all. He wasn't bowing down to new Illuminati, who's bound down to no person who's going to tell them, listen, you got to give me head or you got to make sexual advances. He talked about how Martin Lawrence, he was running outside naked and saying that they're trying to kill me. So things are going weird. There's a lot of weird things going on Hollywood. There's a lot of weird things that are going in the music industry. And I'm telling you, with the girl that just exposed them, the girl from the Pussycat Dolls, more and more people are going to expose for what it is.
I believe a lot of people have a price for the fame. In order to be famous, they're willing to sell themselves.
Facts.
You know, and allow certain things to happen. And then now, 20 years later, they want to cry about it. You know, when they're in their mind. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying like later on,
what I was going to say is like, it goes back to what I was saying before. It's like, when it first happened, it could be something that's so small that you second guess yourself. And like, the thing that you said about selling your soul, sometimes it's not like a big piece of your soul. It's not like somebody asked you to do something crazy and you did it. It could start off as something small and then it just, it progressively gets worse to a point where you're just like, it becomes normal. Like even me, I wanted to be an actress. And I watch like shows like Power where they have sex scenes that seem so real, and it's like some people
they're
might
all real.
There are certain movies like that, especially like foreign films.
Halle Berry did that too.
But basically, it's like, especially, I mean, as a woman, I can speak on this. Like certain men sometimes feel like, you know, they're allowed to do certain things to you. So I'm thinking about these scenes where, you know, what if some men, like, they don't understand that, okay, it's cut, the scene is done, and now they feel like, oh, because you allowed me to do that, I can do certain things to you. And that could be the case with these directors. It's like, you did this on camera, like, I'm your director, and this is what I feel like you should allow me to do. And I feel like it's not...
I mean, as we're doing a lot of speculating right now, I just think at the end of the day, it's like, ultimately, you're right. It can't just be out of the spirit of the moment. This person just did that for no reason. There has to be some type of a person inched their way to do something disrespectful to you.
Exactly.
That's what I said about
they let you. Yeah. If you don't stop it.
So you feel like he inched his way?
I feel like there's more things that happen that we don't know about. Maybe 10, 15 years later, we might hear some new stuff.
Right.
Because it always comes out when they're in their 40s and their 50s and stuff that they did in their 20s and teens.
That's true.
Listen, just don't victim shame people.
No,
like,
no, we don't want no one's
don't. It doesn't matter if, you know, Ted Cruz was giving like gay vibes or anything like that. That guy shouldn't have felt.
So like basically, I want to basically go to this movie right here. So basically, it's called pedosexuality. That's right. It's basically a new movement. It's emerging called Hard Progress. You could Google it. Do your Googles. It says the sole purpose of the movement is to normalize and accept pedophiles into our communities. This movement is seeking to give pedophiles rights to their sexual desires, making bold statements like they can help who they are attracted to. And it says, I really hope more people use their voices to shut down this movement and oppose this madness. They are also seeking legislation that will lower the age of sexual consent, and that's from like, you know, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay?
Yo, Jean-Charles, what up?
Yeah, this is real life. It is real life, people. I don't think people understand the deep level of evil that's unfolding with our own society right now. I don't care if having sex with children is deemed beyond their control, and every child has a right to be safe from predators who seek to take away their safety and innocence. So, guys, be on the lookout for that. Shut that down. Period. Go ahead.
But that sounds a lot like what a certain group of people that live another lifestyle.
Oh, we not for that lifestyle either.
Yeah, but that sounds like the same thing where they made that normal. They went for legislation.
Yeah.
They lobbied for that, and that was accepted, and now that's the norm.
Well, that's not normal. That's not normal.
But isn't that exactly what happened with that other thing?
That's true.
It's not exactly, because those are consenting adults, and then this is little kid, like an adult who now is going to have, you know, it be okay for them to
I'm not saying
be
it's
with
the
a
same
child.
as in regard as it being a child. I'm saying that it's the same
process,
as in the process
yeah.
of them obtaining those. The
Yeah.
same thing that happened with that other.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're not here for gay marriage. We're not here for men and men, women and women. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing against gays, but in like for us as people of God, that's not something that's a lifestyle we promote. You know what I'm saying? We believe in loving them,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't believe in promoting what they're doing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gay people in church. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And there's lesbians in church. So the thing is that, we don't promote the lifestyle, but we don't shun people who makes the choices and everything.
Yeah, except for situations like this, we shun people who are into whatever it's called.
Yeah, being pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's still in the same boat as homosexual lesbianism. We're not for that whatsoever. We gotta just be clear on that. We don't believe in discouraging or disregarding.
Right.
But
Disgusting. And it goes to show you who's running the country right now. Because I don't know, like certain things just shouldn't be. You shouldn't even try to justify it and say, oh well, you can't help who you love. Like certain things is just so clear. But it goes to show you who's running the country right now. People who are into that. People who have been doing it for a long time. Who now are just saying like, you know what, let's just make it legal.
God is the truth.
It's disgusting.
That's
the devil
true.
is a lie.
True. And I think that's the reason why we as Christians, we have to vocalize, being against things, you know what I'm saying? Being against injustice, being against Trumpism, being against white supremacy, and also being against, gay marriage. It is what it is, and also bestiality, because people are into animals too. Yeah, it's the truth,
The biggest lie that the devil was able to convince man is that he didn't exist. People try to make it seem like God does not exist. Why do people want so bad for other people to believe that God don't exist? Because if you take away God, there's no need for the devil. So therefore, there's no God, so therefore there's no devil, so therefore evil could run rampant, like it's running rampant right now.
Exactly.
We at the end times.
True.
Wow.
I agree.
Because whenever do you hear them talk about the devil on TV? Think about it.
I mean, no, at the same time, there's a show that's out called Lucifer.
Facts.
Yeah, where they
To
make
promote
fun of it. But I'm talking about like on the news and like on shows. Whenever these people like, yo, don't do that, that's evil, or that's the devil. They don't talk about the devil, but every chance they get, they downplay God.
That's so true. Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
That's true.
I mean, at the same time, by some of our lifestyle, as Christians, we downplay God as well.
Yeah.
So, we can't. I think we gave the world a license to make fun of God.
I think Christians, the way Christians were back then, the Christians today are not like the Christians back then.
They have no backbone.
The Christians back then were willing to be martyrs. Christians back then was willing to die.
They have no backbone.
They were willing to be set on fire. They went to war. The Crusades were wars, holy wars based on religion. People died for their religious freedoms. People died for saying that they believe in God. Nowadays, people are scared to say that, I'm a Christian, I'm an Adventist, I keep the Sabbath, I believe in God. Because sometimes you tell somebody that you believe in God, that's stupid to believe in God in 2017.
If somebody's willing to die for something, that means their conviction was really from the heart.
That's right.
A lot of times if we say one thing and we're like, we're pedaling back on what we said, it's because like the conviction is not really grounded in us, really. So ultimately, when sometimes we put ourselves out there, and when I was watching Preachers of LA or something like that, or whatever you call that thing, and you see their behavior and stuff like that, and it kind of sheds a bad light on Christians, because you're saying like, okay, well, I could do this and still be okay. I could live this lifestyle and still be okay. I don't have to be married. I could have, baby moms and stuff like that and still be okay, and still lead a flock, and still be, I understand we all have our downfalls and stuff like that, but at the same time, there's a certain expectation, I want to say, that you have for your pastor, the one that's leading the flock, because if you tell us to do as you say, but not as I do, it's like hard to really follow you at the end of the day. But why am I following you? Because the music is good, because you're singing, because you look very handsome or pretty, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Or you got this car, you got these material things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like ultimately, we put ourselves out there to be ridiculed and laughed at by certain things.
Because You're saying because we're not consistent in what we're
Correct.
saying.
We're not serious.
Yeah, like the convictions may not be there for us.
But I think we're not serious about a lot of things as a people. And I can say as black people, I think that's why we have a history of being taken advantage of. Because we don't trust in each other, we don't trust in our Lord, we didn't keep the covenant, we lost ourselves, we got returned back into bondage, and now we're stuck in this situation.
I agree.
Very similar.
I agree. But I have fun here, man. I have fun here. It was definitely an honor for me to be here. I don't know how much time we have left.
No, we pretty much almost done.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so we could go with the closing thoughts. Let's start off with Rose. Go ahead, ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
My closing thoughts. We spoke about a lot of different things. I mean, yeah, being here was completely different than what I expected, and
Shout out to the real.
I don't know. It was good. It was interesting. I think it's good that you guys, started this, and although I don't know, I just see it growing and getting bigger and better. So, like you said, I'm honored that you guys asked me to be here, and yeah.
And we support you 100% what you're doing. Definitely give me your YouTube channel. We're gonna make sure that everybody.
So my YouTube channel is Surviving Adulthood, and if you type that in on YouTube, I'm probably the second person that you'll see. Like, you'll see my actual thing.
Yes.
So go ahead and subscribe. It's free.
Everybody subscribe to my sister.
Go ahead and
Yes.
I'm
subscribe.
going to subscribe.
No time for hate and spread love
right now.
Say it one more time.
Surviving Adulthood.
Surviving adulthood. Yes. We support you. The real world support you. Want you to come back again, and we're gonna make it happen. My man Caleb.
Yeah. Yo, first I want to say, congratulations to you guys on the 21st. This is the 21st episode. You guys are doing your thing. Continue to stay positive, continue to remain focused. The goal for this is just to maintain positivity in our community and beyond. So you never know what lives this may touch, and at the same time, you may network with other people that may be able to join your show and provide another element to this particular platform. I want to say today it was very interesting. I enjoyed it. It's definitely different. It's definitely my first time.
And he ripped it.
I don't want to say that, but
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
my first time doing this. I'm not a big talker, but this is definitely cool, and I wish you guys the best. And as you guys continue to progress, wish you guys the best.
And shout out to Hebron, right?
All day, Hebron, stand up. We love you.
Yes. Basically, I just wanted to say this.
And at the same time, hold on. We got to support these brothers, man. They have a GoFundMe account. Try our best. This costs money, so I'm gonna back up my word. I'm gonna try to support you guys. This Friday, when that money hit into the account, I'm gonna hit y'all up with a little something too. So definitely continue to support these guys. These guys are doing a great thing, and continue to pray for these guys as well too. At the same time, when the devil sees something positive going forward, he try to get between and mess y'all guys up. So keep the bond together. Don't let nothing separate you guys. Always stay prayed up. And this is the real world, baby.
Definitely. Just wanted to make a quick announcement before I pass it to my man Ricard. This Wednesday, we're going to give out free Metro cards to the people of the community. Crown Heights, Brooklyn, for those who are interested, inbox myself or inbox Ricard. Also, too, my man Pharrell, not Pharrell from the producer, Pharrell from Mid-Hudson. He's given 25 turkeys. We want people to match that.
Yo, guys, step up your game. If he's giving 25, I need somebody to get 5. I need somebody to give another 5. I see all y'all was talking about, look at all these diapers they gave out. Everybody showed up to pick up diapers, but it wasn't that much people that donated. True. This is the thing. Y'all all ready for handouts. Y'all all ready to pick up, but y'all got to contribute.
Let's contribute.
It's two young black men doing this for the community, doing it for the people.
Yes. And
you guys is backing us. If you guys could back us and you see how much we did so far, and we was true to every word that we put out, because it was the real word, and we have kept it real with you guys. Please donate the turkeys. It's not for us. It's for the hungry. It's for the needy. And it's to support the community and people of the world. If you're saying that you're a Christian, if you're saying that you believe in God, then support your fellow man, because real life ministry is the best type of ministry.
Yes, yes. Love you guys. We support you guys. We appreciate you guys. We thank our hosts for coming. Two wonderful, amazing king and queen.
No doubt.
Much love.
Yeah, guys. So at the end of the day, like I just need you guys to donate to the GoFundMe. The link is going to be in the description. Continue to support Brother Sanders. Continue to support Sister Rose. Continue to support Caleb. Shout out to the Winter Circle Church. Shout out to Hebron Church. Shout out to Jordan River. You want to shout out your church?
Shout out to Oreb.
Oreb in the house.
Okay. And shout out to everyone that's making a difference. Remember, you can make a difference too. We started this show in June 2017. It's only been 5 months and we're already on TV. So this is a living testament to God's glory.
Hebron youth.
That He put on this show. And we use every single youth and we give a platform to all the youth who has something to say. Nobody else is doing this and we fill that void. If you have skill, if you have talent, and you have love for your fellow man, you can do everything, anything. Support each other because everybody next to you and everybody behind you and everybody in front of you is an asset to you and the asset to the world, and we can make the world a better place. To close out for the 21st episode, we like, one of you guys pray. Who want to pray?
Short and sweet and spicy.
All right, before we pray, we're just going to say, there's 2 shout-outs if I can.
Of course, go ahead,
Well,
baby.
my sister Keisha, she makes cupcakes. They're amazing cupcakes. Next time I'm up here, I'm definitely going to bring some for you guys.
Yes.
Check her out. Her name is Keisha Chana. Also, my brother-in-law, he is a realtor. Vladimir Charles Pierre. Support him.
We support
our
Vlad.
community. And with that being said, support Hebron too. You know, and what we do in our mission. Look out for Hebron Instagram.
Yes.
Hebron Facebook.
Yes.
To see if any programs that we have coming
Yes.
up. If you shout out now, that means you got to pray. You got to last shout out.
Shout out to Ethan.
Who's Ethan?
Ethan's my sister's son.
Oh, nice. Shout out.
And shout out to all my sisters also.
Shout out
And shout out to Brother Caleb for this word of prayer that he's about to bless us with.
I mean, if you do your nieces and nephews, Kay, Morgan, Matt, all y'all, Marcus, geez, I got so many.
Shout out to the world.
The whole world, the whole Charles clan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
shout out. All right, let us pray. Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for just a wonderful evening tonight. We thank you for allowing us to come together and just to talk and just to share words of wisdom in regards to finances, in regards to how we should maintain ourselves when we go to church or when we just conduct ourselves outside of your church and in the world, dear God. I pray that you allow this ministry, the real word, to go above and beyond what these brothers could ever expect, dear God. Continue to bless them, continue to provide financial assistance to them so that they may continue to grow and may continue to do your word, to share the gospel to all the world and to feed those who are in need. This is my prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Subscribe to the channel, donate to the GoFundMe, big up yourself, and we'll see you next week.